Hey everyone, this is Alex. My last video got some traction, so I decided to make a follow-up and just talk about some comments here. And some people mentioned that you're not a software engineer, you are a WordPress development. Yeah, and probably some of this is true because my portfolio on my website, my profiles look like that. I should probably update it because I think people will judge you based on that. But let me just tell you about my last project that I was working. That it's a app that it's a plugin, right? That using REST API for the backend, right? So there is a REST API endpoint. Then we have a front end, React on front end with some state management. There is some SQL queries, caching involved, right? When user install it, it's saving it into the database. Then it's communicating with external proxy server that is using authentication, right? That authenticates the user. So it's using OAuth. And then it's the external server powered by Laravel, which is MVC, as you know, framework. It's a PHP framework. And Laravel processing the data that user sends, process it through the middleware, verifying all the signatures, right? There is also some caching involved there. Then there is a queue workers that work on these things, and then all of this is connected with an AI server with external, AI API, and then all of this is powered by Laravel, but it doesn't matter. It's just a backend. Then it sends data back. It handles failures, and then it handles some fake requests, and all of this verifies signature. So if you think that WordPress development is not about software engineering, so you're probably wrong. And let me just also show you some latest posting, right, on some website. What is a software engineer? So a software engineer, so in this case, this company posted 14 hours ago a role for software engineer. Let's see what it requires. So 3 years of software development experience, 2 years of working with software architecture, high quality code using best practices doesn't say anything. Cloud, okay, working with cloud like Azure. So I was working also with my previous projects. I was building a pipeline, CI/CD pipelines that handle testing, that handles deployment. So I know cloud. I'm not an expert on cloud, but I know what is it. I'm trying to improve on this, of course. But that's what software engineer is all about. Then Node.js, Python, so API development. Again, that's what you can do in Laravel. Guys, it doesn't matter. You can do this in Laravel. Maybe you will be surprised that WordPress allow you to build also API layer. Experience with Git, you can check my GitHub. I have, let me just open it for you. So experience with Git, development workflows here. Here's my latest GitHub workflows. Okay, let's get back here. CI/CD pipelines, exactly what I mentioned. Infrastructure as a code. Okay, Terraform, got it. And then knowledge and learning solutions preferred. So that's what company here considers as a software engineer. So it's the same things that you are doing with your other frameworks. It's just a different, again, different languages, different frameworks. Let's try to check another one. Software engineer, what they need. Okay, full stack development, got it. React, Next.js, done it. Work with Node.js as well. Okay, working with SQL, that's exactly what I've been doing for this past years, working with SQL. Python, yeah, I probably have a gap into this, but they put it's a strong plus, but I'm using Laravel in this case, so it's easily transferable into other language, I guess. Ship products, that's what I've done. I actually broke some products in production, so I know what is like that. Not everything is perfect, and you can break something. That's why you need to do tests, and you also be surprised that WordPress development also involves testing. and if something breaks, it doesn't go to production. So it's CI/CD. Okay, problem solving skills. Got it. Next one. Let's check this one. Role in New Jersey, right? Again, let's check what is the responsibilities. Develop web application, React and TypeScript. So this is exactly what you're doing as a WordPress developer. So okay, guys. So let's just the point here is that don't just try to put labels on someone. Like, yeah, maybe it's perceived like this, but just also try to understand that what companies right now call this time. I saw companies who are basically hiring for I don't know, website manager role or like web design, and they require you to write some JavaScript in WordPress, and then there are some like web design roles that used to be like a design or Figma in the past, and now they require you to tinker with some APIs, connecting with some external services. Then many jobs are actually mentioned in Shopify or WordPress development in their software engineering role. So the industry is changing, and these labels are it's just titles. So don't just focus attention on this. Just try to understand that your skills are. It's not about writing code. It's understanding um, architecture. It's understanding design patterns, how you structure your application, understanding uh, caching and latency and all of this. And all of this is learnable nowadays. Of course, you must have an experience in this field, and you need to have a work in production experience. But all of this is learnable, and just take a look. Like UI components, that's what you are doing as a developer, as a WordPress developer. I personally know some people in my network who call themselves architects and DevOps. And when I chat with them, they told me that that's what they are doing, the same stuff what I'm doing. They are just luckier, I guess, because they have this network. They said that someone just reached them because they have some previous client, and they reached them and offered them this job. So they are doing essentially the same stuff. And their title could be like architect, or there's WordPress engineer. I've seen so many, and these titles are always changing. So in this case, just look what software engineer requires: front end components with backend services, Node.js and MySQL. All of these are essentially the same things. Flutter, yeah, this is some separated like framework, like yeah, for mobile. Okay, debug and testing. Again, you can do all of this in WordPress. So yeah, that's been said, that I should probably update my profile and maybe indicate my latest experience, that when I was working with real SaaS, integrating multiple services together, integrating AI into this probably will position me less as a WordPress developer. But why am I trying to keep my resume and my profile still focused on WordPress? Because companies are still hiring people with this knowledge, with this experience. And I just want to show that I have a huge background into this. I know exactly what's happening, and I don't want to jump into multiple things, even though I can, and I probably should. But I prefer to be expert in one area, and then don't just switch frameworks and jump in between tools, because that's what people also are doing. Additionally, also just to mention that I've done some previous work. I work with Next.js and Headless. So all these things, they are transferable. So don't just think that if person just knows one stack, they don't know another. I can uh, jump into other stack, and I pretty much like seamlessly can migrate into this. And additional, just for the doing this video, I actually got interviews and invitation to the interviews for a software engineer roles, which required in their interview to write some CRUD, right? The reason why I failed this interview was first of all, they used a language that I don't use, the framework, so they used Elixir. But the fact that they even offer me an interview shows that they are looking for someone just with these skills. If I was not in this position, they would simply don't even offer it to me. So okay, guys, so that's it, I think. So see you around. Bye.